y'all? It's your boy, Sicario, host of the podcast Cancel Culture. Not out yet, but coming soon when I get my shit together. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just got something on my mind, and I'm just gonna speak on it, man. I'm gonna be honest. This is directed to everybody in general, male or female, but I am personally talking from my own experiences. So queens, ladies, if this hits different, don't take it offensive. Or do. It's up to you. But I don't want y'all to think I'm on no Kevin Samuel shit. I love my queens. I love my goddesses. I love my women, especially my ones of melanin. Emphatically. But what I want to say is this, man. How do I start this one? Alright, check this out. Real talk. You ever been on the highway, and if you ever seen mountains or something like that, or somewhere that's got like really high hills, and you see the signs and it says falling rocks. The reason why they have those signs there is because, you know, it's a chance that you may be driving through an area where rocks may fall, and they want you to be aware of that so you can protect yourself, keep yourself safe. You know, but those rocks are falling because of nature. You know what I'm saying? Nature can be cruel, it can be harsh, it can be negligent to that mountain that once was magnificent and clean and well groomed when it first, you know, came to be. And then over time it deteriorates, whether it be because of rain or winds or natural disasters of any sort. And you know, in turn, mankind is just as cruel and harsh and negligent as well to each other and to nature. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a reciprocal thing. Now I know that seems strange, but the reason why I say that is to get to this point right here. When you're dealing with somebody, especially if you know they're romantically involved with you, don't be nature. Don't be mankind. Be better than both. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, if you got a dude, especially if he's a hard worker and he's doing everything he can to make sure you straight, you good, you know what I'm saying? Make sure he knows that and realizes that and feels that. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, it's the same thing as far as women go too, but I think it's enough women in the world speaking on their half, and it's not enough of us speaking on our half. So I'm just trying to voice it from a man's point of view. But fellas, if you don't do it for your woman, then you're just as guilty as you know, anybody else. You know, but ladies, like, if a dude's doing these things that make you feel like he's really trying to make sure you straight, make sure you good, make sure you at peace. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you know that you're loved and wanted and desired and appreciated. And all of those things, being a protector and a provider in the best way that he knows how as a man. And if he's not, then communicate that shit with him. Fellas, if she communicates and follow instructions, because she's trying to tell you before it gets to the point where she can't deal no more. She's over it. And ladies, it's the same with niggas, but niggas is a little bit different. You see, if you taking and taking and taking and taking, eventually he's gonna feel like he's got nothing left for you to take, even if he's still making things that, you know what I'm saying, provide that you have access to take. You know what I'm saying? Send the nigga a pic. You get upset when a man says send me a pic. A lot of people, females that I know, will get upset when a man asks, send me a pic. Now I'm not talking about when you first meet her. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, like, if y'all really dealing like that, he shouldn't have to ask for a lot of shit. He should not have to ask you to send him a pic. And I'm not even talking about like nudes or explicit content type of pics. I'm talking about shit. Pics that just let him know you thinking about him. If it's just a regular picture of you smiling, if it's just a picture of the grass in your backyard, if it's just a picture of whatever's on the top shelf or whatever aisle you in the grocery store, he gonna appreciate that because you letting him know you thinking about him and you want him to feel like he's a part of whatever you involved in. And it doesn't get reciprocated, but you want these efforts given to you. And I'm not saying all women. There are women that do that. I'm speaking to the ones that don't. You know what I'm saying? And fellas too, because it's niggas out here that want so much from a woman, and they not protecting, they not providing on any type of level for her as well. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta start listening to the fellas. Like, you can't ask somebody to do something that you yourself is not willing to do. It's a two-sided sword. It's a double standard, and we all have double standards that we tolerate and deal with in life. I get it, I know. But you complain about the double standards that affect you, but you do not, address the double standards that affect the other side of that discussion. Because this ain't an argument, it's a discussion. And I want y'all to talk about it with me. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. You learn our love language. If we telling you send us a pic, that's the same as you saying, you want, I don't know, stop throwing your dirty clothes, on the floor, put them in the laundry basket. That shows you, if we start doing that, that shows you that we listening to you. That shows you that we acknowledging how hard you work and you tired of picking up after us. You know what I'm saying? If you ask us, when you go to the store, why you don't never bring me something back? You go to the store, you get yourself something, you don't bring me, because this fella's out here to do that. I'm not one of them. You know what I'm saying? If you tell him, damn, you could at least, like, I know you at work, send me a good morning text, or send me a think about you text, or, you know what I'm saying? Just randomly send, send your lady $50 for lunch, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let her know I'm thinking about you. Send your lady $50 for lunch. Like, look, man, I don't know if you're hungry, but if you is, here you go. You know what I'm saying? If you're not, put it in the gas tank. I know gas hot. You feel me? Send her flowers and a note that says, just because it's Tuesday. That's the type of stuff you got to do, fellas. And ladies, when you communicate those type of things that you want a man to do that for you, it comes right back. Like I said, nature. It's reciprocal. It's reciprocal. You got to let him know that you care too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only so much that a person can bend over backwards for you and do for you and work with you and try for you and fight for you if he's not getting it back. But you want him or her to do all of these things that you expect and you demand and you desire, and you're not trying to give it back, unless your intention is to just play that type of game and get what you can out of it. And don't be a simp, fellas, because if you see the flags, no matter how much you like this person, desire this person, love this person, if you see the flags, man, walk away. Because the most valuable thing we have in life, in the world, is time and energy. Those two things cannot be replaced. Anytime you lose, you can't get it back. Any energy you lose, you cannot get it back. You can recharge and make more energy, but you're not going to get the energy that you already have exhausted. Ladies and fellas, you got to start being more reciprocal. Stop asking people to do what you're not willing to do. You know what I'm saying? A man shouldn't have to ask for sex if y'all together. He shouldn't have to ask for head if y'all together. He should not have to ask you for pics if y'all together. He should not have to ask you a lot of things that we have to ask that now y'all use as topics and discussion points that niggas do. Now, I'm not talking about like when you first meet a dude. I'm talking about when you actually got some type of rapport with him. When you actually have some type of developmental connection with him. He shouldn't have that. You know why? Because a lot of times you do all this stuff when you first meet. You first meet a nigga, you'll send him a picture every damn day. You first meet a nigga, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got to ask you for no pussy, no head. He ain't got to ask you for nothing. He ain't got to ask you, you know what I'm saying? Half the time, he taking you out to eat. But you ain't, when you're not going out to eat, he ain't got to ask you what's for dinner. He ain't got to ask you is you cooking. You already doing it because you're playing the same, you're putting in the same work that you want him to put in with you. But then once you get to that stage where you're comfortable with each other, where you're vulnerable with each other, it's ironic how much you get complacent and take that same person for granted when you wasn't doing it in the beginning. So why you doing it now? Learn our love language as much as we try to learn your love language. give us the same energy and the same effort that you demand and expect from us. And I understand that we got a lot, you know what I'm saying? All of us jaded, all of us, you know, damaged, all of us trust issues. I get all of that. Whether you healed or not, that shit is still there. You know what I'm saying? You just want this is the thing about healing. The scar and the injury is still there. It's just you know how to process it so it doesn't dominate your train of thought to affect your day-to-day existence and being in life. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna affect your next relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of them calling that type of trauma that we all have been through, that PTSD that we all have. That's why they call it baggage. And that's why they call life a journey. And that's why we look for somebody to have that journey with, because when you're looking for a companion, you're looking for a partner, all you're looking for is someone that feels like home, someone that spiritually you can call home. And what do you do when you on a long trip or a long journey when you finally get home? You unpack. And what do you unpack? Your baggage. Right? So let's unpack our baggage. Let's find that home. But do the things that you necessary to do to maintain that home once you find it. To keep it in order. To keep it clean. To keep it presentable. You gotta learn our love language as much as you want us to learn your love language, man. Like, that's just what it is. And it's a lot of us out here that aren't doing that for our counterparts. You're not. You do it in the initial stages, but once we get in deep, you stop doing it. And then you wonder why he's stepping out, because you're not doing the shit that he likes, the shit that he needs, the shit that he wants. But fellas, you got to communicate that shit too. But if he's communicating and he's doing everything that you expect of him on your behalf, ladies, you can't be mad if he step out on you, because you're not providing that for him. That other woman is sending him pics without him having to ask. That other woman is not picking arguments and nitpicking all the time. I get it. It's part of women's nature. Sometimes she just gonna fuck with you because they just want to start an argument. You know, just not on no malicious shit. It's just that's how they are sometimes. Not all women, but some women is just like that. It doesn't mean that they unhappy. They like pushing your buttons. They love you. That's a form of them showing that to you. But, you know, the point I'm trying to make is, if he steps out and clearly she's providing something that you're not. And you can't be mad at him, especially if he's trying to communicate those things, which you cannot be mad at him. You cannot be a hypocrite. Because clearly, if he wasn't providing those things for you, maybe you wouldn't step out, but you would stop fucking with him, you would leave him alone. I ain't condoning cheating. What I'm saying is there's a cause and an effect to everything. Nobody wakes up in the morning and decides, today I'm going to be a serial killer. Trauma happens that causes that person to become a serial killer. Trauma happens that causes a person to feel like they have to rob a bank. Trauma causes a lot of the things that we look at in the world and are disappointed in, that are hurt and shocked and appalled and disgusted by. It's because of trauma that happened to them that pushed them to that point. Doesn't make it right that they did it, but there's a reason that they were pushed to that point. So yeah, they wrong for cheating on you and violating the sanctity of your relationship. But at the same time, every time you point a finger, there's 3 more fingers pointing right back at yourself. And you got to look at yourself and be self-aware and be honest that what you contributed to that situation to allow that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Even if you didn't do anything and you did everything right, you still did one thing wrong, because no person can do anything to you without you allowing them to do it to you. Nobody can make you feel any type of way without you allowing them to make you feel that way. You're giving them power over you. And if you're trusting them and making yourself vulnerable enough to give them that type of power over you, doesn't it make sense to tend to whatever needs they need so they don't abuse that power? It's just a little food for thought. It's just something for you to really sit down and build and think about, man. Learn our fucking love language. We shouldn't have to ask for a lot of the things that we have to ask for. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to feel the same, because look, we're men. We may not know how to communicate it properly, but you know the way we move. If we moving different, we unhappy for a reason. Find out why we not happy. Don't wait till things go left and then all of a sudden it's our fault and this and this and it's that and it's that. No, you didn't make no effort. You didn't care if I was happy when I was still, you know, making sure that you was all the way good, you was all the way up. But now that I'm, you know, doing whatever, and it makes you feel unhappy, it makes you feel violated, it makes you feel hurt. Now you want answers, but you wasn't worried about no fucking answers. You wasn't worried about me, just you. We living in a selfish society, and we got to start being more selfless if you want people to give you that same type of energy back, man. I believe in love. I love love. I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm what you consider a simp, to be honest, because I would do a whole lot to the ends of the earth for people that do not give me that same loyalty and love and respect back. I am that nigga that'll send you a good morning text every day, ask you how you doing. I ain't gonna hit you with no what you doing. I'm gonna hit you with a how's your day? You straight? You need anything? I ain't gonna ask you about fucking, I might talk about it here and there periodically with a little nasty, dirty joke or something, but in general, I'm not even gonna talk about it. I'm not even gonna ask about it because I don't feel like I should. So if you're not giving me no pussy, if you're not giving me that romantic stimulation mentally and emotionally, physically, spiritually, why am I asking you for it? I'm gonna give you hints that I'm not getting it, but if you're not picking it up and you're not acknowledging it, that means you're not making no effort for me like I'm making effort for you. I am that dude that'll send flowers on a random ass day. Oh, it's Thursday, fuck it. You know? But I'm starting to realize it's a lot of women out here that have these high standards, these high demands, as you should, as a woman, as you should, and you deserve it. But what is you giving back in return? What is the reciprocation? And it's not just pussy. If all you can answer with is you fucking them, that you don't have nothing to offer, because every woman on the planet has that to offer. So that's a wash. And if you giving him pussy, he giving you dick. That's a fair trade. That's a fair trade. So don't bring up pussy because in order to give me some pussy, I got to give you some dick. So we even. So you hold no trump cards on that. I'm not pressed. You feel me? But what else is you offering? Do you send me pictures? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, don't gotta be nudes. I'm saying just regular pictures of you. Like just, man, I'm thinking a video. Yo, man, I'm just thinking about you, baby. I miss you. Same thing, fella. You need to do that shit too. Like you ain't gotta be sending no dick pics to her. She probably don't want no dick pics. You know what I'm saying? She just send her a video, yo, baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of day you having right now. I know you're probably busy because I haven't really heard from you today, but I just want you to know I'm thinking about you and I can't wait to see you. Can't wait to talk to you. All of those things. Make him feel special too, man, because a lot of niggas is corrupted from past experiences, and all you're doing is reinforcing why he be on that bullshit. All you're doing is reinforcing why he feels, thinks, and says the things that he feels, thinks, and says. Break the cycle. Don't be the cycle. This shit is cyclical, and I'm just looking at so many broken relationships, so many broken people out here, so many narcissists that don't even know they're narcissists. You know what I'm saying? If they got a trigger, find out what their triggers is. Don't address your triggers when they trigger you, and then they tend to your triggers. They walk on eggshells about your triggers to make sure that they don't make you uncomfortable or put you in a bad state of mind. But you don't do the same for them. Meanwhile, they're driving themselves crazy, not trying to trigger you, but at the same time continuously being triggered by you. And you don't even care enough to find out what their triggers are so that you can return the favor. That's what I mean by reciprocal. Give me that same energy back. I love you, queens. I love everything about my women of melanin, my goddesses. But we as a people got to do better. Fellas, they already on our top. It's a lot of shit. You just go Google, YouTube, TikTok, whatever you want to do to find what was wrong with us. But it's time for y'all women to step up and understand there's nothing wrong with you. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying all women do this, but there are some women that do. Address it if it hits you and fix it. Because that's how you find that forever shit. And that forever shit matters way more than that right now shit. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you might have 3-4 people you can hit up to help you with bills. Right now, you might have 3-4 people to take you out when you're bored. Right now, you might have 3-4 people to hold a conversation with just so you can vent and pick some brains and get some ideas. But eventually, you're not going to want to keep talking to 3 or 4 people to get 3 or 4 different points of views and opinions. You're going to want to talk to that one that's going to feed your mind. And he going to want a woman that's going to feed his mind in return. We don't know everything. We can put you on game. We can give you knowledge. We can feed your soul. We can feed you. But we need that type of energy and effort back in return. And we not getting it. And you wondering why niggas is dogs. You wondering why these niggas be playing with your motherfucking top. Well, I just told you why. Now what you gonna do? Once again, this is your boy Sicario, host of the Cancel Culture Podcast. I love my queens, I love my women, I love the melanin. Salute to my kings, salute to my people in general. Black, white, orange, purple, any color, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Salute to all of y'all. I love it and I love you, and I hope that y'all took the good out of this and didn't take it as the bad, because this is not to be malicious or malevolent to anybody. This is to uplift, this is to teach, this is to show. You feel me? Fuck with me.